Good morning, class. So I know it's Monday, you guys are still in weekend mode. So today we're gonna start class a little bit differently. I have a song that I'm gonna teach you guys, and it's about math. But what's good is that we'll be able to apply it to today's lesson. So it's to the melody of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I believe you guys should be able to pick it up pretty easy. I'm gonna say a line, and then could you guys just repeat after me? Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump in. When you're solving a two-step,
When you're solving a two-step,
make sure that you look for X.
make sure that you look for X.
If it's next to its friend,
If it's next to its friend,
move them to the other end.
move them to the other end.
If it's hiding with a pal,
If it's hiding with a pal,
make sure it will cancel out.
make sure it will cancel out.
Great, thank you guys for your participation. I know you guys aren't going to learn that right off the bat, so here's a handout with the lyrics for you guys to remember. And we'll look back at those throughout class when we get into two-step equations. But to start off, let's just review off of what we learned last time, which was one-step equations. And there are a couple examples up on the board. So as you see, oftentimes when we're solving an equation, x has a number being added or subtracted from it, or is being divided or multiplied by a number. When we want to solve these, do you guys remember what the first step was, or what our main goal is? Crash?
Our main goal is to isolate x on one side.
Right. So we want to get x. We want to get x on one side by itself. And so in example 1, what do you think our first step would be? Kelsey, you had your hand up. Do you want to, how about with this one?
I think we're supposed to add 3 to both sides.
Right. So we'd add 3 to both sides. And why do we want to add 3?
I don't know.
Okay. So you're right. You want to add 3. And why we want to add 3 was on this side we have x minus 3. And if we added 3, we have x minus 3 plus 3. Canceling out the 3's, leaving us x by itself. And because we did that to one side, we do it to the other side. So we have 5 plus 3, giving us x equals 8. And so here you have your value for x. On this side, it's a little bit different. We have x divided by a number. So if x is being divided by a number, what do you think should be our first step to isolate x? John?
Since it's being divided, I think you should have to multiply by that number too.
Right, so we can multiply. And the same thing as earlier, we'd multiply so that it would cancel out and we'd have x left by itself. So here we'd have 2 times 2, 2 over 2, which is 1, times x, equals 8 times 2. Our 2 over 2 is equal to 1, as we know. So x would just be by itself, x times 1. And then we have 8 times 2, x equals 16. And we've solved problem 2. Now for today's lesson, what we're going to do is take that a step further and look at two-step equations. It's the same thing as earlier. X is going to be x is going to be multiplied or divided by a number, and there's going to be another term being added or subtracted from it. So if we look at our equation, our same objective, we want to isolate x. And in the first one, we have 6 equals 8 divided by 4 plus 2. And if we think of these as terms, we want to isolate a. And looking back at the song, we said if a is next to a friend, we could bring it over to the other end. So in this case, we'd subtract 2 from both sides, giving us a over 4 equals 2. And as Jonah said earlier in the division example, we now have a divided by 4. So we multiply both sides by 4, giving us a equals 16. Does everyone understand?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and get started working through some problems. What I want you guys to do is partner up. One of you take turns, one of you choose the first step to do when solving the problem, the other partner will choose the second step, and as you go through the problems, switch who chooses first. I'll walk around if you guys have any questions and to help out.